Hey everybody, this is a special video because it's going to be the finale of this series. Unless I decide to do the extra stories in the game, but I probably won't do that in this series. Um, it's 3:13 p.m. on June 11th, 2022, exactly 1 year after I started this series. Christ almighty, I don't understand why it took me so long. I guess I'm just bad at things. Anyway, last time we left off, we were in a bit of trouble. So, yeah. Great. I have to do my shitty Brian voice for this fucking video. God, my. Uh. This is going to be absolutely pointless. Whoa, no, 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 no. Good lord. I know who it is immediately. The smell's unmistakable. That and the high-pitched voice cursing as he drags me along to the brush. This person. Oh, great. My fear is already spiking. Ha, ha, ha. Chase. That was not Kudzu's voice, Christ. That was a terrible delivery of that line. It was supposed to be a scream. But no, it was that. Whatever. Kudzu's scream seems like it's only a few yards away. It's gonna catch up to us and then, I don't know what. Try to fight Brian off, I guess, but just I'm thinking of that. Brian picks me off the ground and practically throws me. Next thing you know, my head is throbbing as the back of it knocks against something hard. These are all splayed out words, my foot pads pressed against something smooth and cool. Hear more curse and the sound of snarling. Kudzu? Then I hear the sound of a car door slam and I realize I'm in a truck, my feet pressed up against a windshield. Brian's massive bulk squeezes in next to me and I feel the truck accelerate. Backside wobbles back and forth in the sand as it tries to find purchase in the ground. But then we find the road and I'm pressed back in the seat as Brian steps hard on the gas. Fuck. Really convenient timing that as soon as the truck starts, this fucking Brad starts going around on his motorbike again. Fucking hell, I hate this neighborhood. I scramble up right into a seated position, pressing back as far as I can against the door, away from Brian. Doesn't seem paying attention to me right now, but his eyes fixed on the road. Heart hammers in my chest. I can't even start to comprehend what's just happened to me. Is this real? Am I dreaming? How did I end up fucking things up so badly again? I ask myself that question a lot. Brian takes a hard turn and I almost tumble into him. In a panic, I kick my feet against his side, keep myself upright and against the door. Big Bear grunts and glances at me before fixing his eyes back on the road. I really draw my feet back, pressing my knees against my chest to try to hold on to the chair to keep from falling over. Realizing that Brian must have been waiting for me, waiting outside Kudzu's trailer for a perfect moment to grab me. Give it to him. I'd given it to him by idiotically skipping outside to take a piss. The results were I can smell wafting up from my pants. I don't care though, everything is numb right now. Mind is racing, trying to figure out how I'm gonna get the hell out of this. My paw automatically reaches back to pull the door handle. It's locked. Paw feels along the door looking for the lock. Fingers pass over a small hole where I assume it should be, but it's smooth. It's like a little note for the pop-up lock is missing or that it's been cut off. Swallowing hard, I keep searching. Mirrors across the window crank handle. I tenderly start to roll it down, but it's clear that I haven't thought ahead as Brian immediately notices the drafty air. Lunges at me, one hand still on the wheel. I scream and dodge out of the way, fall into the footwheels. I try to escape his massive paws. He doesn't grab me, instead reach over the handle and rolling the window back up. Truck swerves back and forth as he does in front of him. I'm sure he's about to roll the whole thing with how fast we're going. Finally sits upright again. Great, this is a fuck. Oh boy. Once again, it's 3 in the afternoon. It looks like it's gonna fucking rain. What else is new? Do that again and I'll knock you out. That was his voice, right? I don't fucking remember. It's been a fucking minute since I had to voice this piece of shit. Still, he doesn't look at me. It's only then I notice the stark difference his demeanor has now compared to the first few times I've seen him. There's no lust, no animalistic drive to fuck everything around him. Instead, there's a sort of desperation about him. See his eyes dart around in the glow of the headlights, the furrow over his head matted down from sweat. Sit there in the footwell, staring up at him, gripping onto the seat as my head knocks back against the glove compartment. A few minutes of erratic driving and swerving, I gather my wits enough to speak. What are you doing? Brian's eyes flick down towards me, then back up to the road before he shakes his head. Does it still like he can't believe something? He doesn't say anything, at least not for a while. Then, after what could have been anywhere from 2 to 20 minutes, he speaks. I hate when I have to do a voice I don't remember. Can you tell me the truth, boy? That was not his fucking voice, I can already tell, but who the fuck cares at this point? Sit there quietly, contemplate and make a jump for his door, to open it, tumble out of the desert. If I wasn't injured badly enough, or even enough to survive for that matter, maybe I could make a run for it. Yeah, good luck with that, with them in a fucking truck. What truth? What's going on in this town? Oh my god. Squeeze my eyes shut and let my forehead thump against the seat. Only for a moment since I want to be able to keep an eye on Brian. I already told Duke I have no fucking clue. You were there. Brian grunts that he continues to stare at the windshield, clearly thinking about something. I can't help you or anyone here, Brian. I'm just trying to find a way out. Gives me an idea. Wait, I might know a way to get out of here. If you let me go, I'll tell you. As soon as it comes out of my mouth, I wonder if I made a mistake. Brian doesn't need to let me go or to get me to tell him what he wants. Alone here with him, and he can do whatever he wants to me. And I can probably tell him whatever he wanted to hear. He surprises me with what he says next. Escaping isn't gonna fix any of this. That was holy fuck. We're all still gonna say the same shit. Wait, but he stays quiet. It takes me another minute to work up the courage to ask. See what? You know exactly what. Screeches at me in his high-pitched voice, and the truck swerves precariously. I can imagine the tires sliding off the road from before Brian corrects it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Says it more gently, taking deep breaths to calm himself. He looks down at me. Don't you? Swallow hard, wanting to find the right answer, but unsure what that might be. Like when Duke saw something on the ceiling in the diner. It's the first thing that comes to mind. Something that Brian saw with me. It's not a cold guffaw. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Otta. That and every fucking thing else. The truck takes another hard turn. I brace myself a little well. Swerves and turns become more frequent. Can't really see out the window, but I'm pretty sure we're heading to the mountains. Is that creature thing going to attack us? Should I warn Brian? But we're all been seeing shit for a long time, even before this crazy shit started a few days back. glances down at me once again. Haven't you seen stuff here? Mind immediately thinks back to when I was a kid. I'd seen plenty of things. Plenty of horrible things. But the grief. But the psychiatrist had said that was normal, that sometimes kids hallucinate. Notice that Brian's not wearing his seatbelt, and I start to toy with the idea of grabbing the wheel. Again, I might be killed. But at least stop Brian from taking me to whatever it is he's taking me. Might be better to die. Maybe my parents, my friends, they haven't really seen stuff. Except Jenna, and now TJ and Carl after all this started. Brian grins with his crooked and missing teeth. Seems we only say shit if there's a reason to. I don't know what it is either, but from what I see, it's a combination of shitty experience and being an echo. Fucking hell. I really wish that I was fucking able to do these voices better. Truck's slowing down a little now as they start taking sharper turns. Brian's calmed down at least, but it also means that we're definitely in the mountains at this point, the road having turned to gravel. Is this the same speech you gave in Jenna's route? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. When I was a kid and beaten, I didn't see shit, even though I had a pretty fucked up childhood. My mom left when I was 6 because my dad was a piece of shit, but you know she's a piece of shit for leaving me with him. Yeah, this is definitely what I heard. This is definitely in that. Yeah. I remember now. Anyway, you know when my dad told me she'd gone? I don't say anything until Brian looks back down at me expectantly. Where? Brian cackles and sends a chill up my spine. I'm not doing. I cannot fucking do that right now. My voice is not ready for that. That the aliens had taken her. I pressed myself deeper into the well, wishing I could just disappear into the floor. Think he must have been drunk, a high, a boat, but it stuck with me, you know? I remember my voice was way better for him when I did this in Jenna's route, if I remember correctly, but I remember he's fucking shit to begin with, so who fucking knows? Nah, trying to keep the bear happy as he drives along a road so curvy it seems impossible in my mind. And when I was a teenager in 87 or so, I got myself a boyfriend. Well, I fucking skipped that. Congratulations, me. Well, more of a fuck buddy. We kinda hated each other. Talk too much, but it was a good oh, okay, not saying that word. And the only I knew, so I came here every other week to fuck him. Wow, really? I keep pressing the wrong fucking button. Christ. And something weird happened on my second or third trip out here. I remember the moon was red that night because of the fires out west. And I kept looking at it, and that's when I saw a flying saucer, like one straight cartoon with lights and a dome thing on top. Couldn't believe it, there it fucking was, floating through the sky, and you know, even though it looked stupid as fuck, I knew. Brian takes a big wide turn, the truck slows more and more until it comes to a rumbling halt. My ears ring in silence as Brian continues to stare out into the night, the headlights lighting up his face. I knew I saw it, and it was fucking evil, I just knew it. Honestly, I wish that I could just... I miss when I woke up and then immediately did an echo video, like I went downstairs, got coffee, did it. Right now, our fucking Kruig is broken for some goddamn reason. Fucking hell, I have not had coffee in a week, I think, and it's driving me fucking insane. Brian finally looks down at me again. And I know it was every night after I'd wake up and I couldn't move and aliens be around my bed. And there was this one alien I knew was my mom. She didn't look like my mom, she looked like an alien. But I just knew it was her, and she'd do these things to me. Sometimes to my mouth and eyes and nose. Oh, fuck. Usually to my dick, torture me, and it felt fucking real. Brian chuckles, still staring at me. Fucked me up real good, and I blame my boyfriend for bringing me to Echo because I was sure that's where the evil came from. Fuck you. I owed him that yen, he had to leave town because of it. Master Bear shakes his head. Didn't stop the dreams, though. Brian puts the truck in park and shuts off the engine. I sit there in darkness and silence, and even though I just empty my bladder, I feel like I'm gonna piss myself again. You ever told anyone that before? Don't say anything, I just breathe in my mouth, trying to make as little sound as possible. There's something fucked up in this town that makes us see things, feel things from our past or some shit. Duke told me about how it's been happening a long fucking time that he thinks there's a way to fix it. Brian suddenly opens the door and jumps out. He slams the door hard enough to make my ears pop. For about 5 seconds I will myself to move, to run, to open his door and sprint into the night. My body refuses to move, and before I know it, the bear is yanking open my door and grab me by the wrist. Oh, that's actually cool. You can see that yeah, that's a cool addition to the sprite. And if you help me out with this, we can be done with it for good. Pulls me out roughly. My legs are like rubber when he sets me on the ground, but he holds me up easily with his paws on my arms. And you promise me to help, then I'll let you go and be free of evil, okay? All I can do is nod dumbly. Alright, it's gonna be okay, Otto, I promise. Brian transfers his iron leg rope to my waist and starts to pull me along. Stumble after him weakly, trying not to trip in the darkness. Brian stops next to the truck bed and starts to rummage around inside. I feel like I'm gonna pee again. What do you need me to do, though? Brian finally pulls something out. It looks shiny and heavy. But my mouth to scream, but that's when a burst of light comes out of the ends. It's a mag light. Stare at gaping stupidly. Brian sees the light around. All around us is gravel, sagebrush, and some cacti. I have no idea where we are. I need to get something. It's a place that's too small for me to squeeze into. I need your help to get it, okay? Okay, but what is it? Brian ignores me, looking around. Seems to settle in a direction and sets off, pulling me along with him. Anyway, it makes me think all these ghosts and UFOs and monsters people see in the woods, I think they're all connected somehow. Yeah? Focus on trying to keep the bear happy, pretending to be interested in his ramblings. Meanwhile, we're not even on a trail, just pushing through thick brush and sharp rocks. Yeah, like little bits of echo everywhere in the world. Some small like a house, some huge like a town. That makes sense. No, it doesn't. None of this makes sense. But I have to focus on getting away from the bear. No, I should have made a run for it back in the car, but there's no helping that now. We walk maybe 100 yards. As we do, the land starts to incline and become steep. Brian even slips up a few times, and or he's going to fall on top of me. Each time he managed to catch himself, then yank me up after him. For a few minutes of huffing and puffing, we reach a bit of an outcrop with some large boulders. Brian lets go of me and clambers up the side of one, and before I can even think of running, he's turned around and grabbed by the scruff. He squeaks and lifts in the air, feeling like a pup again before I even sit down beside the bear. Brian looks around, keeping hold on my wrist as he does. Some stomping and looking around with his flashlight, he seems to find what he's looking for. Brings us to the edge of a boulder, then he lifts me up again, this time by the wrist. I kick around from over, he lowers me slowly into a dark, spacious hole. I start to wonder if I'm going to be down here for a while, and I panic, for my feet touch down in soft, cold dirt. Musty, cold air wafts from the black space in front of me. Immediately, Brian drops down next to me, snatching my paw again. Shines a light into the dark patch in front of me. When I see it looks like a narrow tunnel burning in the side of the incline we're on. What is that? Brian grunts and starts to pull me into the opening, but I pull back. Brian yanks me hard, and it feels like he almost dislocates my shoulder. I yelp loudly. Shut up! Brian hisses at me as he turns sideways to better fit into the tunnel. It's the mine, you idiot. What? Back of the opening back toward Echo, gently illuminated by moonlight. I thought it was sealed. It is. This is a back entrance. Duke told him about it years ago. Said his family's known about it for decades. Pushed through for a while until we come to another tunnel, this one twice as wide as when we were just in. There is something so just creepy and scary about this version of the mine. Like, yeah, the one in the smoke room isn't any better, but like, you know, branches left and the right. Brian stands there for a moment, inhaling deeply as he looks around. Hang on, it's been a while. Can't help myself from blurting out. You don't know where you don't know where to go? Expect him to hit me or somebody ignores me. Finally, it pulls me to the left. The idea of being trapped here with Brian, lost in the mine, is more terrifying than anything that's happened in the town so far. Air is so musty and dry, I feel like coughing and sneezing at the same time, but I try to hold it in so I don't upset Brian. We walk for another 10 minutes or so, taking a few more turns. Try to memorize the route in case I'm able to break free, but after 5 or so branches, I realize I can't remember the second or third. Brian suddenly speaks up, nearly making me jump in the darkness. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Not really, I don't know. After a while, I stopped seeing aliens. Grip is tight, and I can feel that the circulation of my paw is cut off. It's like just a mass of pins and needles at this point. Now I just see people. What kind of people? People you know? Try to keep Brian talking while I think. At some point he's going to have to let me go, and then it's then that I'm going to have to make a run for it no matter what. Because he already saw that which direction we drove off, and he probably went to Leo to get the car. But at this point I doubt they're going to be able to find us, at least not in time. We went to the mountains, probably through some back road that none of us even knew existed. Then Brian took me through hundreds of yards of desert to find a tiny opening behind some boulders. There's no way they're going to find me here. I'm on my own. Well, I see just one person, but the person changes every now and then. Brian paused, looking to a tiny opening in the tunnel wall, even more narrow than the first passage. Depending on who it was, I'd ask new. Before I can figure out what he meant by that, I'm shoved hard, forced to enter the passage in front of Brian. It's just wide enough that I can walk straight, my shoulders nearly touching both sides. Brian, on the other hand, is to suck in and move sideways, grunting and cursing and making all kinds of noises. Brian's let go of me as he tries to pull himself through, though he keeps knocking into me, sending me forward. I could try to escape, but I have a feeling that doesn't exist ahead of me. In fact, it feels like I'm being trapped. I can't explain it, but I start to get a terrible feeling that something awful is waiting for me at the end of this passage. And then I start to smell something. It's old and almost covered up by the dust and mustiness, but it's definitely there. Sweet and sick. Something rotten. Feels like ice water is pouring on my back and I freeze. I want to be given a shove by the bear behind me. I fall forward into a wider opening. Smell entombs me, and I know without looking that I'm surrounded by death. I lay there on the floor, not moving, listening to Brian as he tries to squeeze through the opening. I can remember years ago when I was maybe 12, walking along the dirt road back home after hanging out with Carl. On the side of the road I saw some roadkill, and just as I passed by I could see the white maggots writhing through the fur. The smell for that single moment was almost unbearable, and I gagged and ran past. While the odor in here is a bit more faint, it's almost exactly the same. I hear Brian finally shift free from the exit, and he shines the light back down on me. It's this place. I know I should run. I know I need to get the fuck out of here. I know I should be fighting like hell, because I know what's coming. It's what it's like for people to get kidnapped or murdered. People wonder why they didn't fight harder or run when they had the chance. I should have ran the second we stopped in the truck. But right now it's like I'm stuck in ice. Frantic thoughts are interrupted as Brian grasps me with the back of the shirt and pulls me back up to my feet. Able to stand and just sort of crumple down next to him. Bear grunt just dragging me along the opening that we're in, drop me against the wall. As Brian fumbles with the flashlight to get a glimpse of my surroundings. It's small, maybe about 15 feet long and 10 feet wide. It's narrow enough that Brian takes up most of the space and I'd be hard-pressed to get past him. I draw my knees out to my chest and hug them, feeling numb. God, you're such a useless piece of shit. Watch Brian lean over something against the wall. Looks like two long, polished pieces of wood. Brian tips the flashlight down and see that those pieces of wood are attached to a shovel and a pickaxe. Brian grabs the pickaxe, and for a heart-stop mode, I think he's going to turn to me. But instead reaches into his pocket and pulls out something small and rectangular. Not till he opens it and shines his flashlight on it that I see it's some kind of small notebook. Bear looks at the notebook, then back up at the little cave we're in. Sounds almost unbearable, and I feel the need to say something only to fill that silence. What are you doing? You know exactly what he's doing. Brian ignores me as he continues to search for something. I whimper softly in the back of my throat. Please. About to be murdered and you just beg like a little bitch. Shut up! Can't help as I hiss through my teeth at that goddamn voice. I don't need to hear it, especially now. Brian stiffens and turns around. What? Shake my head, squinting and unable to see his face as the bear turns the light on me. Nothing, I just... No, you were talking to some. Did you say someone? No, I don't know. Shut my eyes against the light and only see blood red. Brian chuckles, my vision goes back to black as he takes the light off me. I was the same way as you. Let me tell you something, though. Ignoring it ain't gonna make it go away. Brian finally stops scanning the ground and crouches down. It takes a moment to realize what he's looking at until he reaches down and picks it up. Smooth stone. Brian looks at it for a moment thinking. Then he drops it off to the side and looks back down at his book. Daniel, 19, ferret. He was the smallest, I think. Should be enough room. Brian shines the light back down at the ground for a moment, then seems to make up his mind as he sets the butt of the flashlight in the ground. Bright lights up the ceiling, leaving us in a dim yellow glow. Brian eyes me for a moment, positioning himself so he can watch me while also doing his work. Crouching over, Brian starts breaking through the hard surface of the dirt with the pickaxe, grunting with each stroke. He can only do little short swings, the ceiling too low for Brian to even stand up straight. At this point, the smell of Brian is almost overwhelmed with the stench of death. Guess it's one of those few things I don't mind the smell covering up. Why aren't you at least trying to escape? Because he's in the way. Because you're a coward. Why the fuck are you talking to me now? I thought you left. I never left. You know that. You felt me even after you left the town. Shouldn't have come back. Probably not. Going insane. Brings back memories of my old life. Going insane. It's bringing back all my old demons. No, I think it's because you're in the mine. I think you figured out the source of everything, haven't you? I've been trying to ignore all week has changed. It's not vague or insidious anymore. It's more natural, like a real person. More like what I used to when I was a kid. Well, I was a real person. Sometimes I even doubt I am that person. Sharply I feel the back of my brain itch. More like a... what do you call it? A simulation? Waits for an answer, but I don't want to talk to it. No, stop pretending I'm not here. You can feel me. You felt me looking over your shoulder since you got here. My head thumped against my knees because of my eyes. Well, really, ever since Sydney. Just ignore it. But I can understand. Even I feel as though something is controlling me. It's the oddest thing. Hey! Snap my head up, jumping to find the bear staring right at me. Hell are you mumbling? Nothing. Brian chuckles again and reaches over to the other wall, grabbing the shovel. Starts digging up the loose patch of dirt in front of him. Yeah, keep it to yourself, I guess, but like I said, you ain't the only one. Brian gestures behind him with a thumb toward the ground. You can see nothing except a few stones in the ground. After Rachel back there, things got way worse than aliens for me. I saw her at night, crawling on my ceiling, peeking out from under my bed, staring at me from my window. Brian grunts as he digs the shovel deep, then lifts, straining a pile of dirt out to the side. So did Duke. Drove him crazy, turned him into a speed addict. Not that I mind, he was always most reliable customer. The sick, sweet smell starts to grow again, and it's starting to become overpowering. I feel like I should keep talking, get him comfortable, and buy myself some time. Should you, though? Who's Rachel? Duke's wife. I remember what I know about Duke's marriage, aside from the fact that he isn't married anymore. Realized then that I do remember Rachel, but just barely. She was only around when I was in grade school. It was pretty nice as far as I can remember. Didn't he divorce her? Brian shrugs as he stops digging, resting on the handle. I guess he sorta did, but I mean she was dead by then. They wanted my stuff, but they didn't have the money, so I cut him a deal to fuck for the drugs instead. I mean, I can't say I like bitches at all, knowing and wanting, but she let me go way farther than Duke ever did, so I mainly fucked around with her. It's not hard for me to picture exactly what fucking was. Then one day, I guess I went too far. She died and we buried her right here. Brian points more specifically at a rock sitting against the side of the wall. The bear starts to dig again, more vigorously, lengthening the patch he's working on. But I didn't see her until right after I buried her, maybe a week later. Bear shakes his head and laughs mockingly. You'd think that'd stop me from doing it again, but you know, when that last breath came out there and she sort of shut it on the table. Brian glances up at me. Blew my load without even touching it. Made me wonder how good it could be with a guy if it was that good with a bitch. You want him to keep talking? Brian pauses in a sudden spurt of digging and looks up at me again. Probably wonder why I'm telling you this, thinking I'm crazy. But I don't know. Feels good to tell someone, like my own therapy oughta. Man looks back down at the hole he made. The smell coming out of it is overpowering. I'm on the verge of gagging again. But I don't see it anymore, though. Change it with each one. 7 stones. And it'll probably change again. That the bear comes at me. Space is so small it only takes him 2 steps. Scream cover my face. Coward. Try to fold up into as tight a ball as I can, but I know it. Brian has it with the back of the shirt. Dragging me over until I'm kneeling next to the hole. You can see it. It's definitely a grave now. You already knew. Because I can see the bones poking through the dirt. The bits of blue and white cloth that wear its clothes. You mean Daniel, the 19-year-old ferret. I feel like me telling all this to you, me being nice to you so far. Maybe don't come back after me, just move on. Brian moved around behind me, then pressed something cold in the back of my head. A gun. Guess Brian probably has plenty of those. I'm doing the town some good after all. How? Blurred out, my mind racing, trying to think of something, anything to get out of this. Brian does pause, though. How what? How is this helping anyone? Why are you doing this? A few seconds go by and I'm sure I'm about to hear the crack of the pistol, the last thing you'll ever hear. Then Brian sighs. Again, I feel like I should tell you everything, so you know. You don't come back to fuck with me. But Duke, He said this all started when you came back. I told you, I have no idea why. Police rises and bitches start to panic. You already tried to kill me even after we tried to convince him I had nothing to do with any of this. Not any of this? Are you sure of that? Phil Bryan's at his feet behind me and I can picture him getting ready to pull the trigger. To die. This keeps happening, doesn't it? This hysteria. I'm sorry. Remember, this is for the good of the town. To me, it's like the town holding its breath, letting all the evil build up until it has to let it all go in one big go. Ryan grips to my head firm, pressing the barrel of the gun in the back of my head. And you brought a lot of guilt and evil with you back into this town. Maybe that was enough to push it over the edge again. Rest easy. So in a way, it is your fault, isn't it? Eyes are watering. I don't know if it's from Brian's gripping my fur or if I'm crying. Help me. I say it to you. I'll save my thoughts for later. I glance to my right and I see something standing in the entrance to our little hollow. It's faint, either because of the dim lighting or because the thing itself isn't quite opaque. It's tall, white, and gangly, and its long fingers nearly touch the ground. Its face is heart-shaped, with the whiteness of it interrupted by massive, shiny black eyes in its face. It stands there motionless, watching us. Stare back, mouth opened. Brian must have taken notice because the next thing I know, the bear squeals. So loud and high-pitched I wince. Brian lets me go just as the thing moves. It seems to lean forward and glide towards us, but the gliding is stilted like a film with half-seconds missing from it. It flickers, seem to turn transparent as it grows closer, the white fading to pink, then a bright red for a brief second before reverting. I'm frozen, kneeling as I watch. Brian backs away and promptly steps on the flashlight. Light careened sideways and look over to see Brian's foot slip on the cylindrical flashlight before his rump comes down hard on top of it. All light is extinguished and I can't see the thing or Brian now. I hear him though, as lets another screech of pure fear like a wounded animal. I hear something else too. A voice that's also high-pitched, babbling, something fast and senseless. It's like a tape recorder being rewound. Brian's screeching impossibly turns up a notch and I instinctively move forward away from the terrible sounds, and I pitch forward into the hole. Smell engulfs me and I can feel the hard, knobbly things in the dirt around me. Where are we going? Just taking a back road. But we're leaving the city. Yeah, well, I live outside the city. You didn't tell me that. Let's just go back to the club. Alright, pull the fuck over, let me out. I said pull over, where the fuck is the lock? You best not be doing that. Hey, get off me! Gasp and scramble the grave, gagging uncontrollably. Once I'm out, I curl up my side, drawing on my knees again. Horrible screeching and bizarre babbling language continue, that the sounds from Brian are more ragged now. Occasionally the room flashes with the light as Brian shifts around, but I face the wall and I'm willing to look. Get up. Curl up tired, waiting, hoping that I wake up. You sniveling little shit, get up. It's my face in the dirt. Trust me, there's far worse out there and it's coming for you unless you get up and get out. I've given up. You force yourself up onto your hands and knees and start crawling in the direction of the exit. Flashlight continues to be rolled around, giving you glimpses of where you're going. Sounds from Brian have stopped. Now it's just the mechanical gibberish that seems to be growing in speed and pitch. But you don't look back. You don't need to say that. The heart is already broken enough. Soon you're crawling through the exit, and the cacophony behind you is immediately muted. Becomes more and more faint until it almost disappears as you come out the other side. Once you're free, you stand up in the comparatively fresh, cool air. The main tunnel. You'll remember this place. You also know the tunnel's like the back of your hand. It's pitch black, but you feel it all on the walls. You should be able to find your way out. You head to the right, down toward the exit of the main tunnel with your right hand dragging along the wall. Then, when you feel an opening with your hand, you take a left, then another right, and finally a final right that takes you out the back exit. And if you drill the directions you had far too many times for you to... Red eyes appear at the end of the tunnel at the end of the last stretch. You freeze and observe. Things in the mind can hurt you far worse than things outside. Brian had just experienced that. But you're not sure. Is this one of the oddest demons or... No. No, it's something else. Something you're not quite seeing correctly. Frame. The lizard, he's warped. Chase! That's so fucking good. Okay, now I can talk about that fucking sequence. Holy fucking shit, it's so good. Everything building up to that is just so perfectly designed to make you as scared and uncomfy as you can be. And then that happens, and it's just, I'm not in the right mood to get analytical about this game right now. I am fucking in it. I slump to my knees, shaking uncontrollably as Flynn shines a light down on me. Fuck, Chase, come on, let's go! Flynn yanks me out of feet, and the next thing I know, I'm stumbling after him. Out of the mine and out of what I'm now completely convinced is hell. Sit in the passenger seat of Flynn's truck, feeling numb. I choose to stare out the window, watching the desert rush by as Flynn tries to ask me questions. Where's the bear? Shake my head. Is he still in the mine? I think so. What happened? I don't know. It feels strange being back out here. Well, everything is definitely fucked up and strange out here in Echo. At least it makes some sense. Mine is completely different. It's chaos, that's the word. Chaos. What? How did you find me? Back at Flynn, he's staring at me closely, barely keeping an eye on the road. I went to Leo's house, found all you guys there, well, except you, of course. Just waiting? I don't know how to feel about the idea of my friend just sitting around while a serial killer had kidnapped me. Of course, none of us really knew Brian was a serial killer. Well, a lot was going on. Kudzu, that raccoon, is the one that told me you were missing. Leo, on the other hand, said you were fine, that he saw you around the house. What? Flynn shrugs. I have no fucking clue, but he was practically holding everyone hostage. I wouldn't get the keys out, so I had to take my own truck out here. Is everyone okay? Hopefully. Jenna said she'd try and keep him calm while I came back and looked for you. How did you know I was in the mine? Well, Kudzu pointed out the direction you went. I drove to the canyon since that's basically the only place you could go. I saw that he'd parked and knew he'd taken you in there. But how did you know about that back entrance? Flynn smirks as we come out of the curvy Echo Canyon onto a straight road to Echo. Does it really matter? Either way, I know a lot about the town. I watch Flynn for a while until he finally glances back at me. What? Where the hell have you been the past few days? Oh, in the town hall, managing stuff. Stuff? Like everything going on. I tried to find you guys at the motel. Or Carl's house, but I didn't see anyone. Assumed you tried to leave. That answer is far from satisfactory, but I have no energy to dig deeper. So are we going back? Yep. Then what? Well, they were saying something about a train, so I assume we try and get out that way. Sounds like I already found out you can't drive out. Yeah. Turn onto the road to Leo's house, and as I watch the house draw close, I can't help the growing sense of dread in the pit of my stomach. As soon as we step through the doorway, I'm engulfed in a combination of beige, gray, black, and white fur, as I'm surrounded by my friends. Jenna, Carl, and Kudzu are all talking at once, asking me how I am, what happened, if I'm okay. Flynn puts up his hands. Guys, let him breathe. I don't think he's up for talking too much. Jen and Carl step back, but Kudzu doesn't. He's got a hand on my shoulder, gripping it like he doesn't think I'm real. Hey, I'm sorry. I should have been more careful. I should let you piss on my fucking carpet instead or something. He just seemed to realize what he's talking about, the thing that got me into Brian's trap in the first place. Makes me laugh about how earnest Kudzu looked compared to what just came out of his mouth. I also realize that I want to hug him really, really badly, so I do. Feel the raccoon stiffen for a moment, then hug back. Feels so fucking good being in the arms of someone I trust, and it seems to break the numbness I'm feeling at least a bit. Kara seems to take this invitation to hug as well, and Jenna joins in. Don't mind, and I wish I could stay like this forever. Actually, I just wish all this hadn't happened in the first place. Comes to an end eventually, and Kudzu is the last to draw back. About to ask for TJ's when I see Leo. Wolf stands next to the hallway, his eyes on me and Kudzu. He's got a pillow and ball, and his shirt is hitched up over his stomach a bit, like he just pulled it on. What are you doing? The room goes quiet, and there immediately changes. Carl, Jenna, and Kudzu all look weary. No one says anything. Clear my throat. I'm back. Brian took me to... Leo frowns. Back? No, you were in my room. You asked for a pillow. We were... Leo's glare turns from Kudzu. Have they been telling you to say this? Leo, no. My former boyfriend's eyes are completely alien to me. Never seen that look from him before. Guess I knew the town, whatever all this is, had gotten to him, but not completely taken him. Now I'm not so sure. Kudzu stands next to me, his shoulder in front of mine. Leo eyes him again, but we're turning back to me. Chase, come here. I don't move. The room is completely silent. Chase, I said come here. Leo, what the hell? Leo ignores Flynn, his steely eyes on mine. Feeling of coming to a safe place is completely gone now. Like it was seeing every part of my life, it seems. But I don't move, and neither does Kudzu. Leo doesn't seem to know what to do. His face transforms from anger to confusion. Julie, you were just in the bedroom with me, telling me... Leo trails off. I was in the mine, Leo, with Brian. Leo stares. Silence drags on until a soft clicking comes from the kitchen. Everyone looks as TJ emerges, looking at us all with sad, lost eyes. TJ, what is it? There's another train coming. Oh, good, thank you for watching, TJ. Not sure if Jen's relieved because our ride out is coming, or if it's because it can distract us from the whole Leo situation. We all move at once, squeezing past Leo out to the train yard. Watching me pass him, dumbfounded. TJ's right. In the distance, I can see the lights on the train, slowly winding its way toward us. At this point, dawn is just breaking. Somehow it's only been one night, even though it feels like it's been several weeks. Alright, for whatever reason, that train's moving pretty fucking slow. We should be able to just hop it. Train wheels in the distance again, much closer now. Thought I was gonna have to drive alongside it with you all in the truck bed, honestly. Train does seem moving pretty slow, but when I get closer, I realize it's not exactly going to be a jog to run us alongside it. Might be able to catch it at full sprint. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. I'll get on first along with Kudzu, and we'll pull the rest of you on, alright? Carl fidgets nervously. I don't know if I can run that fast. You will, now. He'll pull out of my shoulder and turn me around. It's Leo. Hey. Hey, what is it? Back at Flynn wanted to hear what he's saying. Listen to me, everything you said at the house, did you mean it? What did I say? Leo looks impatient. What you said about loving me, wanting to be with me forever, you meant that, right? What? Train is approaching. We have maybe a minute. What the fuck? Why acting like you don't fucking remember? Leo bristles, teeth bared, eyes narrowing. Oh my god, Leo, let's get out of here first. To back away toward the others, they continue to discuss jumping on the train. No. Leo grabs my shoulder, looking me right in the eye. Makes an effort to calm down, closing his eyes before opening them. Then tell me now, are you going to stay when this is all over? We can talk about this when we get on the train. No, I want to know before. See Kudzu looking as it looks like he's about to head over. Just tell the truth, that's all I want. Fuck you, Leo. It's fucking over. Leo's eyes bore into mine as I look back at him. Now isn't the time for this. In fact, it's the absolute worst time for something like this. But looking at him, I can tell this is the only time for Leo. No, Leo. Leo's eyes widen and he leans his head back just slightly, at the same time taking a step back. Like I physically pushed him. After everything that's happened, I just can't. Leo seems frozen, watching me, his arms hanging loosely at his sides. I hear the crunch of gravel next to me and Kudzu's by my side. Come on, we're going now. Leo's hand moves then to his waistband. Only to see him lift a gun from under his shirt, his eyes on Kudzu. Body moves automatically, stepping in front of the raccoon and raising my hands up to my chest defensively. Leo's already frozen his motion, though, gun in front of his stomach still pointed down at the ground as he stares past me. What the fuck? Kudzu grabbed my arm from behind me, his grip so tight that it's painful. I keep my eyes on Leo, waiting and watching to see what direction the gun might go in. But then it drops. First his arm, which hangs loosely by his side once more, then the gun, which clatters to the gravel below. I flinch, expecting it to go off. It doesn't, instead my ears are filled with the sound of the arriving train. Leo's eyes are back on mine as I watch his tears start to spill out. Come on, Leo, I have to get out of here. Kudzu pulls me back, and I turn away from Leo in the town of Echo as I rejoin the rest of the group. Run! Flynn shouts Carl forward, and the ram takes off alongside the rails, looking over his shoulder at the train. Next thing I know, we're all running after Carl as the train catches up. Look back. Flynn waves both arms at the locomotive as it whizzes past, but if there's a reaction of the driver, I don't see it. I have just enough time to read the letters on the side of the engine, Prescott Railway, before it's moving past me down the tracks. I realize then that the train is quite short, maybe 5 cars in all. We won't have many chances. Kudzu! Then points to the caboose and starts running beside it, next to 2 little steps that drop down the end of the platform. Gracefully, the lizard jumps, landing his feet on the steps as his hands scramble for some kind of purchase. Finds him, pulls himself in, and the next second he's reaching out, holding onto a handle on the caboose, and he grabs one of Kudzu's paws. With much more ease than Flynn had, Kudzu jumps up onto the steps and pulls himself onto the platform. Past Carl at this point, the ram already losing steam. Calls after me in a hoarse, ragged voice. Shit, I'm not gonna make... Flynn grabs the ram as they pass, and Carl hops, skips, and even gravel, and for a horrifying moment I think he's gonna fall. But Kudzu leans in and snatches him up as well, practically lifting Carl onto the platform. Jenny is right beside me, his neck, reaching out a paw to Flynn. Grabs it, and Jenny easily jumps on over the 2 steps. I think it's my turn next, but TJ slows down abruptly and move to the side to make room for him. Flynn grabs his arm, and TJ hesitates several times before Kudzu gets a grip on him as well. He's able to step up onto the first step. It's then that I realize that the train is picking up speed and I'm starting to slow down. Move up beside the caboose, seeing Flynn's outstretched hand. Now that I'm next to it, I can see how terrifying this is. Wheels clack loudly on my ears, and I have no idea I'm going to lift one leg up while keeping up this speed. But I get a grasp on Flynn's hand, and I see Kudzu's paw reaching out as well. The train's going way too fast now, and I only have one chance at this. I pull down on my hands and lift my feet up to land on the last step. Once my feet make contact, my relief floods through me. I count myself as I grin and pull myself up the steps. I don't know if we're safe or if this whole plan is going to work, but we carry it out somehow, and that feels good for once. Then I remember Leo and look back, expecting to see him running next to the train. Instead, all I see is the brush and gravel rushing past. Look back toward the town, and I think I can make out a small figure in the distance. Exactly where I'd left him. Where the hell is Leo? Stay silent, Flynn follows my gaze out toward the desert. Shit! At that moment, I'm not sure what I should feel. Probably relief. What I do feel is an incredible wave of sadness, like a physical wave smashed into my body. Probably the same thing Leo felt when I told him. Some part of me knows that this shouldn't matter right now. All that matters is that we might have just escaped with our lives. Leaving Leo behind, someone I'd known most of my life, someone who protected me, been a friend to me, guided me through the worst parts of my life, someone who'd always emphasized togetherness and family, who'd vowed to protect and stand by my side. That very same person had chosen to stay behind. But we're the ones leaving. He's the one that decided to leave us. And as that solitary figure grows smaller and smaller, the idea hurts more than anything else right now. They're seeing Janice get murdered after being tortured by Brian, after nearly being murdered in a mine. This separation from my best friend is a knife being twisted into my chest. Sink to my knees, holding onto the railing, wondering if I should have stayed behind. Because the Leo I'd just been with isn't the Leo I really know. He needed help and I just abandoned him. Should have stayed behind. Hot tears slid over my cheeks as I stared at the metal platform. Fuck you. We say the words under my breath, but there's more rage behind them than anything I've ever said in my life. And they're meant for echo. Fuck you for killing Janice. Fuck you for hurting William. Fuck you for killing Duke. Fuck you for hurting Cliff. Fuck you for what's buried in the mines. Fuck you for hurting Nick. Fuck you for twisting my friends into something they're not. Fuck you for hurting Cynthia and Murdoch. And fuck you for ruining my life. I sit there on my knees, sobbing hard like I'm crying for two people at once. Can't see Leo anymore, but the thought of him alone and probably hurting like me is too much. I don't know how long I cry for, but it feels like a long time. After a while, I feel a paw on my shoulder. Imagine the rest of my friends standing there staring at me, but when I turn my head, it's only Kudzu. The raccoon is crouched next to me, his head turned toward me, a look that can only be described as understanding on his face. In a bit of a daze, I rub my face on my shoulder to clear my vision. Sorry. Don't be. Kudzu says automatically as he rubbed my shoulder gently. Do you want to get up? Rest of them went inside. Stay crouched there a moment, watching the blur of train tracks in front of me as we continue through the desert. Give me a sec. My nose is always comes out clogged. Tiny lights of echo on the endless expanse of desert gets smaller and smaller, and so too does the feeling of tension in my chest. And with the tension goes the sad, angry presence in my head. He goes quiet again. Makes me feel a bit better, but each time I think about Leo, that knife gets a little deeper. Kudzu nods and squeezes my shoulder. After a few moments of only silence, he speaks. No, that's someone I lost a few years ago. My eyes got a nod. He was my boyfriend. Keeps on as I stare at the tracks, almost hypnotized. That strange feeling of wanting to jump tickles at the back of my brain, then fades slowly. One night we were walking alone like we usually did. We got mugged. We should have just given them everything, but my boyfriend, of course, stepped forward. Confronted the guy and got shot. It's back there with no idea what to say. Kudzu shakes his head like he's coming out of a dream. I'm just saying I'm here. I might know what this feels like, you know. Cough a little, clear my throat. I mean, he didn't die. Kudzu shrugs. Breaking up can feel like that sometimes. It's a lot more than that. It was all of that. Wave in the direction of the town. It just feels like I lost him right when we got away. We're gonna get people to go back for him. Yeah. Load a big breath before slowly standing up, my knees popping as I do. Kudzu stands with me as I lean against the railing, choosing not to look out at the town. After a moment, I turn around to face Kudzu, and then I'm hugging him. There's no hesitation this time as he hugs back. I let myself lean into him, letting him support me, feeling the fur on his neck poke through mine. We stay like that for a good 5 minutes, vibrating along with the train. Finally, I pull back. Alright, we should We should probably go in. I don't think it's all that safe out here anyway. Without letting go of me, Cuts opens the door and guides me inside. Okay, I need to go piss right now. Holy fucking shit. I'm going to pause it real quick. 1 hour mark. Yay. Anyway, I'm back. Yeah. I'm really emotional right now. Not only because of what happened in the route, but because this is the last Echo video of the main game that I'm gonna do. That is... Fuck, my friends are all sitting in little seats. Well, that's not true because I'm doing the fan dub, but that's a different channel. But whatever. My friends are all sitting in little seats in the dark, swaying along with the train's movements. Carl sits closest to us and he looks up at the sound of the door. Hey Chase, are you okay? I laugh. No! Carl smiles sadly. Yeah, sorry. Fine, man. See Jen and TJ together on a seat further along the wall, and Flynn sits opposite them. Further still is a small shape sits leaning against the opposite end of the caboose, curled up on his seat. It's Clint. Flynn occasionally glances at him, but the polecat doesn't seem interested in coming closer to us. Kudzu guides me to sit next to Carl, and I make room so the raccoon can sit next to me. So, where do you think we're going? Carl twitching against me as he sits there hunched over. Anywhere's better, as long as it's not hell, I guess. I guess. Kudzu's arms go around my shoulder automatically, and we sit in silence for what feels like a long, long time. And I don't mind it. I wouldn't mind if this were the rest of my life, honestly. For the first time in several days, I feel calm and safe. Soon enough, though, the darkness of the caboose is illuminated with occasional flashes of light. Flynn looks out the window. Peyton. With a grating screech, the train starts slowing down. A little surprised, because I thought the train wasn't even real and I would just go on forever. Now it comes to a slow, stuttering stop. We all sit in the dark quiet listening, and then Flynn stands up and opens the door. Soft orange light spills inside. The hell? Out of the doorway, I see rows of train tracks out of other boxcars. Someone moves into view. It's an older-looking fox in overalls. Stares up at us like we're aliens. Where the hell did you come from? Mountain silence goes by before Flynn clears his throat. We're from Echo. Oh boy, we're back at the start of the game, everybody. Isn't that interesting? Woohoo! Fun! Fun, 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 fun. Yeah, Mom, I promise I'll call you in an hour. No, I'm not. No, we're not staying the night. Promise. Wow, Mom. Alright, I swear. Love you too, bye. Hang up and drop my pawn on my lap, sighing loudly. Kudzu laughs. Everything okay? Rub my eyes. Yeah, I guess. She's just worried, obviously. Kudzu reaches over and sits his paw on my knees, squeezing briefly before returning it to the steering wheel. I can still turn back, you know. Take another breath and hold it. It's tempting. Might be a better idea to just let the past die, but now that I'm leaving the area for good, I want to see it one more time. The town and Leo. Let the breath out. No, I need to do this. I thought about it for so damn long, there's no way to forgive myself for backing out now. I need closure. Alright, but if it gets weird at all, I'm taking you the hell out of there. He won't, he's back to normal, as much as any of us can be anyway. I told him that it's only going to be for a little bit, that we're just driving through. Look over at him. You want to stay in the car? Planning to, unless you're planning on going inside. No, I'll stay outside. Alright, but we watch in case you do try anything. Yeah, right, it's been 2 years. It's not very long. Hey, I know Leo, he's not the person we last saw. Yeah, I know. Oh boy, so it's 2017 now. Fuck, what a year. What a fucking year. I'm not gonna say anything. I feel my stomach tighten as I suddenly realize you're driving past a lake, then onto Main Street. It's completely abandoned, but then we pass the motel. Windows are all blurred up and the parking lot's with more cracks than I remember, but I'm hit with a wave of familiarity all the same. Standing in the parking lot are 2 people. Points at the motel is a large black bear, and in front of it stands a canine of some kind with a video cam. Is that a Devin Cam reference in Leo's route? You fucking geniuses. Oh my god. Kudzu snorts doesn't say anything. First, I feel a spark of anger at them for probably seeing the whole thing as a morbidly fun adventure, not even having the slightest idea of what sort of hell the town went through. And I remember that I'd done the same thing. Granted, it was many more years removed, but still the same. We turn onto Leo Street, and my stomach tightens further. Kudzu glances at me. Can I get a kiss before you talk to your ex? Eyes on the road. Kudzu leans over very deliberately, keeping his eyes on the road as he tries to turn his face toward me. Give him a quick peck inside his muzzle and he laughs. Probably to laugh as well, but I get caught in my throat as I see that old house. And there waiting in the driveway is Leo. Hey, how's it going? Leo cheerfully greets me as I open my door. Catches me off guard a little bit, his mood being so different from mine. Hey, Leo, what's up? Leo just pisses his paw, shove it in his pockets, but still manages to shrug. Not much, you? Not much. Leo ducks his head and looks in at Kudzu. Hey, Cud, you alright? Kudzu awkwardly answers from behind me. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm a little silence and try to think of what to say or do. I hadn't expected Leo to just meet me outside. Did you want to come in for a beer or something? Oh, I'm actually driving for the next couple hours. Yeah, we're just stopping by for a minute. Oh, okay. Leo smiles, falters a little bit, but he shrugs again. Wanna go for a walk then? Stretch your legs? Kudzu but doesn't say anything, doesn't give me a hint as to what he's thinking. He's leaving the decision up to me. Yeah, sure. Leo ducks his head again. You wanna come, Cud? Kudzu hesitates and strokes his head. You go ahead. I prefer the AC. Alright, cool. I'm just trying a bit tension between the two of them. I quickly jump out and shut my door. Look over at the radio, which is full view of the car, and point. Wanna walk over there? Sure. So you've just been hanging out here the past 2 years? A little bit. Spent a lot of time with parents. I'm going back in with them right now, actually. Oh, yeah? Yeah, it sucks, but honestly, I can't stand all the vultures scouting around for stories here. Sounds like it, but at least you'll be around other people, right? Yeah, it's officially a ghost town now, if you hadn't noticed. Look out over the rest of the town, toward the motel and convenience store and all of the tiny houses and trailers in between. Not a single person. I actually visited Carl once in a while over the summer. Leo nods out toward the mansion. I see that big... Towards the mountain, I see the big mansion glinting gently in the sunset. Yeah, that's cool. I hear he's doing pretty good at school right now. Good, are you going back to school? Meh. Try my shoulders walking up to the train tracks to straddle the steel rails. Not in Pueblo since we're moving up a couple states, but eventually. It's a lonely conversation as we both go quiet. Look around, wonder if this was a spot where we hopped the train. Then the train that turned out to be an old engine. And caboose on its way to Peyton, where it's to be transferred to a train museum. It had been traveling at a gentle 10 miles per hour to keep from derailing off the old tracks, just slow enough for us to catch. It was the last 3 engine being transferred that night. Just a few hours later, the emergency services went in and recovered whoever else was left in the town, including Leo. Still wonder if we even needed to hop the train, but I guess I was escaping more than just the town. Look back at Leo. Are you okay? Leo looks from the kicking around some rocks. I mean, scratch my head vigorously trying to think how to not say the wrong thing. Have you been doing okay? Are you happy? Leo smiles. Not really. Are you? Think back to the past 2 years of nightmares and panic attacks, of breaking down to tears out of nowhere. And just a few hours ago, I dropped to the ground in a grocery store in pain because someone dropped a jar of jam. Because you had been there, like always, to help me back up. I'm managing. I can't cope with this. It's a process. That's good. Are you managing? Leo chuckles. I'm just living. Are you getting help? Like professional help? Yeah. No. Oh, well, it can really help. I like to do things on my own these days. He looks back toward the car, Kudzy barely visible through the windows. People can help. You don't have to do everything on your own. I think it's best if I stay away from people for now. Notice the anchor bracelet missing from Leo's wrist. Down at the tracks. Listen, I'm sorry about everything that happened. I wish I could do things over even before what happened here in Echo. Leo looks at her with a sad smile on his face. Last year's been hell for me. Cried myself to sleep every night thinking about you. My face flushed with embarrassment and, for some reason, shame. But last month, for the first time, it stopped. I stopped thinking about you every hour. Stopped what we might be doing, how I might be treating you, about whether or not you're thinking of me. Yeah, I still think about you sometimes. When I do, I still cry, but it hurts less. So yeah, I am doing better, Chase. Oh, well, that's good. I have no right to feel a little sad, but I do. I'm sorry, Chase, for not protecting you the way I should have. For trying to control you and do all that shady shit behind your back. Whatever the fuck was in this town made us all go crazy. Realize it twisted up my thinking. Those thoughts were always there. Echo just brought it up to the surface. So I'm a shitty person, you realize that, and I'm sorry I brought you into it. Just know that I really did love you. He looked over my shoulder at the car again. Anyway, you should get back to Cud. He'll take care of you, and I hope you'll take care of him, okay? The mouth hangs open a little bit, but that's back to reality. Yeah, I'll do that. Start walking back to the car, but Leo doesn't follow me. Pause. Do you want me to know Elmer? We can talk. No. Surprised look at my face makes Leo laugh. It's a real laugh. Kind of sad, kind of happy, but real. That wouldn't be good for either of us. So we're just saying goodbye forever? Well, knife Mara starts twisting again. Leo shrugs. You never know. Stand there 10 feet away from my first boyfriend. My first kiss in this very real way. My best friend. But hey, if you drive through Peyton again, I'm always open to have another chat. Maybe you'll catch me at a better place. I will. Say it immediately, and Leo smiles at me. So I'll see you again, someday. Look forward to it. Alright. Bye then. Goodbye, Chase. Walk the rest of the distance to the car and open the passenger door before getting in and sitting down. Door's still open. I look back one last time. Leo stands there, Paul still jammed in his pockets. His fur outlined with orange and gold light from the setting sun, highlighting his head fur like a halo. Take it in for a moment and wave. Waves back. With that, I close the door. What? What the fuck?
It's been a few years since I've seen you laying down on the bed in my room. It's making me feel so
Fuck.
stupid. You're the one thing I knew that I couldn't lose, and I let just slip past.
Fuck you.
If you would only give me another second chance, I could make things right. Yeah, we could do it over again. Over again. And again. Did you think I really leave you lonely? I feel the same when you come and show me. If you really want this song to last, we can leave everything behind in the past.
Hey, they changed it. Oh, I love that's fuck. Fuck, man, fuck. Uh, oh, I want to kill those dogs. So, basically, fuck. That's the end of this series. That's the end of this series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. For what it's worth, I certainly had some fun re-recording this and experiencing this for the second time. This game is extremely fucking important to me, and I will always cherish it. And I don't think I would honestly have the friends I did today if I hadn't played this game. And that's like, it sounds very hyperbolic and shit, but it's very true. I genuinely do not believe that I'd be the same person if I hadn't played this game. So, thanks, Echo Project. Fuck, man. God. And there's still Arches to deal with, and there's still the smoke room to deal with, and fuck, I don't know if you could hear, but I was actually starting to really get on the verge of crying there, and, you know. Anyway, enough of the sentimental bullshit. My thoughts on Leo's route as a experience. Personally, I really, really like Leo's route. It does a lot of really cool moments. The horror is still there. It's very, 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 it's a good route. It's a good route, but it's still... Basically, my order goes, and this is from 5 to 1. Carl, Leo, Jenna, TJ, that's Flynn, and then TJ. Wait, no, the opposite. It goes, so 5 is Carl, 4 is Leo, 3 is Jenna, 2 is TJ, and 1 is Flynn. Flynn is my favorite rabbit. I cannot express how much his ending affected me. Whatever. Anyway, see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's now 4:35 p.m., so that's cool. See ya.